Hey guys, we are back for another video. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell so you are notified when we upload. Also, hit the thumbs up if you are enjoying the content. And as always, let me know what y'all think in the comments. So, we needs to talk about Love in Hip Hop Miami, baby. This is the season, obviously, season 5, episode 8. There was so much going on in that particular episode, so we are back to talk about it. So we're back for another video and episode of The Tea with Key. So let's just jump right in, guys. And I'm going to tell you what we're going to be talking about. We have, again, it was so much going on in this episode. I know I spoke last week about Shay and the baby daddy situation, Fabian. However, we have to talk more about that because I missed something. And this is why I have to watch the episodes over and over again, because I talk about so many reality shows that, it kind of gets a little bit confusing if I don't watch it and then do my video like right after, because I'll miss some of it. So we're going to talk about Shay. And I'm going to tell you why, because the boy called her mama the B word, and I totally missed that one. I totally missed that, because if I would have heard that the first time, my video would have been totally different. We must talk about thirsty Vonshae and Gunplay, because this girl is all over the internet. She's so thirsty that I want to send her some water right to Miami. We also must talk about Amara and Safaree. Okay, because Amara, from what I'm understanding, I guess you a bird now, so you need to just fly away. But y'all, let's get into these episodes. But let's start with Amara and Safaree. Let's jump right in. Okay, with Safaree and the Amara situation, Amara stated that she needed to go, to be with her dad, because her dad was having a medical condition, and obviously she needed to be with her family. Um, One of the cast members, I believe it was Ray J, noticed that, yeah, she seemed, to be having a good time, and suggested that she was probably hanging out with her twin's dad. And Ray J basically told Safaree that. Long story short, Amara made it back. She took issue with Safaree mentioning that he liked to have FaceTime sex. I'm not sure what that meant or if he was actually doing it, but Amara actually took issue with that, because she stated, "Who are you having that with? You were not having that with me." Ultimately, they got into this back and forth, and Safaree was basically saying that, Amara has not gotten this much clout, since being around him. So they had a little situation, and he called her a bird. But this is the my thing with this relationship. I frankly don't believe that their relationship is real. And I'm going to tell you why. Both Amara and Safaree has come out on their own private platforms, Instagram, and basically stated what you see on TV is not even real. And I have that video on my YouTube channel. The relationship it's not real. This is a relationship of convenience, that they're pretty much doing this for a check. So I don't really have much to say about these two. This is performative at this juncture, because they're not in a real relationship. I'm not saying that they wasn't doing things that people in a relationship do. But again, I don't know what else to say about these two, because they are not in a real relationship. Amara stated it, and Safaree stated it as well. Safaree has also stated that he has still been messing around with Erica. So it all makes sense. he is not in a real relationship with Amara. So that is pretty much the end of that fake relationship. This is a relationship that is just for the TV because, they want to make the reality shows interesting, and they do this with these fake storylines. So we're done with these two. So let's move on to our next two, which is going to be Vonshae and Gunplay. Okay, guys, so let's talk about Vonshae and Gunplay. They are a very interesting couple, being that he is significantly older than her. She also talks so much about her PhD, and being, I believe she says she's 24. Um, and this man is in his late 40s, and she's always talking about her PhD and basically receiving her doctorates at a young age. But yet her husband is someone that has a drug problem, among other things. So when I think about Vonshae, she reminds me of a thirsty female who wants attention and who wants to be in a spotlight. And I'm going to show you why. Now, recently, she's come out and she's saying a whole bunch of stuff about her husband, but it's giving very much thirsty because I have a master's. I don't have a PhD, nor do I want one. But school is extremely hard. And also, it requires you to study a lot, which means that you're not dumb. So, you want to tell me that you went to school as far as to get a PhD, but you didn't know that if you had sex with a man that was doing drugs, that would affect your child. Now, if you're going to say that you didn't know that, I'm going to call you a liar because you are an educated lady. So this is something that you should know. You don't have to be a medical professional to know this information. So I'm going to bring up a clip of Vonshae, and then we're going to come back to discuss these two more, because Vonshae is giving very much thirsty, I need attention. And from what I gather, I really believe that she got in this relationship with him to do exactly what she's doing. She wants attention. So let me bring up this clip, guys, because you don't know what I'm talking about until I play you this clip, and then it's going to make sense. So let's come back once you guys watch this clip.
The reason why my daughter had a heart defect is because of his drug abuse history. Like, he was the cause of her defect. Y'all could Google this. Anybody who abuses cocaine, ketamine, which he did too. He actually OD'd on ketamine twice. Cocaine, ketamine, all those type of things, like, it causes cognitive, like, disorders and dysfunctions and shit like that. So that's why my daughter's heart was fucked up, and he took it really hard. And I just wasn't with it. Like, I told him once I found out about his history, I was like, look, the moment you start using, I'm out. So I thought giving him that ultimatum was going to, like, keep him doing well. Clear that shit went out the window. Okay, see, someone just said he stopped doing it right before he got with me, but he's been doing that. See, I didn't know that. That's what I'm telling you. I did not know that. I'm just not finding out. And when I did realize he started using, that's when a lot of our fights were starting. I would ask him, like, why are you sniffing like that? He's very yellow, so it's like his nose would be super red. And he'd be using, like, the Afrin little nose spray. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh, it's just allergies. And I believed it because allergy season down here was bad. So I was just a dumbass because I don't know if they're going to air it correctly. But the reason Richard relapsed is because the doctors have told us the reason why my daughter had a heart defect.
Okay, guys, so that's the first clip, but I do have another one. So this girl is telling us that the reason why her daughter has the heart issue is because he used drugs, and we can Google it if we don't believe her. Well, ma'am, why didn't you Google it? We don't need to Google it, but are you telling us that we should Google it if we don't believe you? You sound crazy. So then she stated she gave him an ultimatum. I'm curious as to what is it, girl, you didn't know or you knew and you gave him an ultimatum. But here's the thing, a woman who has a PhD is not dumb. So you mean to tell me you went this far in school and you didn't know that drugs affect a newborn baby? If the mother or the father use, it does not matter. It's his sperm that make the baby, it's your body that carry it. So you're saying you did not know that? This is a lying hell because there's no way that she has a PhD and she don't have basic common sense. Like there's no way. Another thing, she's constantly on social media all of a sudden. She's constantly bashing him, keeps talking about his drug use. You knew that he had a drug use when you got with him. I knew, and I don't really know him. I just saw some stuff online. So for a person who's not really online, you know a lot. But let's get into this other clip because I'm showing you guys what type of woman this girl is. She is definitely a clout chaser. But let's bring up this next clip so you guys can hear what type of person she really is.
Like, what happened?
It was honestly going good.
Right.
It's when the whole chain situation came out.
Gunplay bought Rick Ross a chain.
Without my approval. People keep saying I married this man for money. There was no money to have. Like, my dad was making sure we had, because when I met him, he was up. I married for love, not money. I wanted to help him because I felt like as your wife, I want to support you and bring you up. But don't sit here and act like you was Jay-Z or some shit. Let's be for real. Like, my parents were taking care of me and a grown-ass man. Like, I just felt like, why are we gifting somebody who's a multimillionaire a big ass chain? So that's where our beef kind of started. It's just like priorities. Like, I felt like my priorities was my daughter, her health, and our finances. His priorities were, I want this certain look. And he was just like, oh no, I gotta thank my brother. Send his a thank you card.
So, like, does Rick Ross be looking out for him? Like,
I had questions all the time. I'm like, hey, he's like, oh no, I don't want to bother that man. Like, I don't want another man paying for my but you letting my daddy pay for your When I came into the picture, they weren't even on speaking terms. I don't blame him from distancing himself from Richard and us. Like, this is a lot of going on. You don't want that on your brand. I wouldn't. It's like we see like little baby them giving they $200,000 for their birthday, like shit like that all the time.
right,
So it was
yeah.
like,
So he didn't take care of you, like pay the bills.
when I met him, I had my own place. We hanging out. He comes spends the night because he was drunk. Well, a few days turned into a few weeks, and I'm like, okay, we gonna go home. He goes, we might as well just live together. Like, I've been here. I'm like, you know what? F it. You've been here. It's been like a month and a half now. So I'm like, you know what? F it. Let's move in together.
Right.
We moved in together. We was having fun off of my dad's expense. I found out I was pregnant. We were dating. We hadn't even known each other long enough. Like, what the f am I gonna do with a whole baby right now?
Right.
And clearly he wasn't nowhere near financially stable. So I'm like, damn, we finna bring a baby into a broke house.
You guys would always go raw.
Yeah. Well, at first,
like, what percent would he pull out? Like half of the time or
majority of the time.
majority?
Don't be a dumbass like me. The love, the all that, it ain't worth it. Now I can go back to my real stuff.
So he was better in bed than like the other guys.
I mean,
that hood hit different.
It was good, but oh my god, it's getting hot in here.
A few months back, you and
Okay, guys, y'all heard it. What more do I need to say? So let's just sum this up. She said that their problem started because he gave Rick Ross a chain. Guys, that chain was given to Rick Ross probably 1 year ago. So she's lying. She mentioned that little baby, they give their people 200,000. So the girl is telling on herself. That's the thing. When people open their mouth, it's almost hard to not lie because it's just hard because that is exactly who she is. So she got into this thinking that she was going to get some money and figured out that it didn't work out to her benefit. She met this man and almost immediately was having sex with him, unprotected sex with a man she did not know and one that she knew to be, you know, using drugs or had used drugs. So this girl is a hot mess. This is what she actually admitted to in this interview. Um And then she states she married for love. Well, ma'am, if you married for love, then why are you still not there? What she's saying makes no sense. Then she's downing him, basically saying he's broke, and then basically saying her parents took care of them. So she is really she's really a clout chaser. And I believe, she is figuring that gunplay was probably the wrong play for her. And she is not going to get what she needs out of this, which is she loves, being in the spotlight. She's always on some social media talking about him and bashing him, which is really bad, especially, by him being, on drugs, because people that's on drugs, they can, sit back into that when, negative things, happen in their lives. But I just wanted to show y'all that video to show y'all that this broad is top grade trash. Like, she's top grade trash. A woman with a PhD out having unprotected sex with men she doesn't that she do not know, ones that she know is using some sort of drugs or have in the past, which is, what really make you want to protect yourself. But you out here free, just having sex, girl, with people you don't even know. So yeah, she's trash. So let's move on to Shay Johnson, and Fabian. And we must revisit the conversation with regards to Shay Johnson and Fabian, this bum baby daddy of hers. And the reason why we need to revisit this conversation is because when I previously did the video, I did not know that he called her mother the B word. A lot of times when I'm doing the recap, well, I don't do recaps, but when I'm watching the shows, I may be doing something, and that's why I have to watch it several times. But in this particular instance, I actually had my closed captioning on, and that is how I was able to catch it, because on the TV it said B, but then it blotted it out. So I said, oh my goodness, no, this Negro did not call this girl's mother a B. And so I had to come back on here. So this is my thing. Shay Johnson, honey, let's just jump right on top of your head right about now. Because listen, a man calling my mother the B word is like taking his fist, hitting me in the face, because it is never going to happen. There would be no way. Now I understand why she was saying, when it happened, I was nowhere in the vicinity. Well, honey, where did you walk to? Because we just saw y'all sitting down at the table together, so you couldn't have walked out. You couldn't have walked that far. So what that leads me to believe is you'll do anything for money and fame, because let me just tell you something. No man that is entertaining me, that thinks he likes me and that I have a kids by, or one child, however you want to say it, and call my mother the B word, that is just so low and so low and so low. So Shay Johnson, girl, the world has always said that you are the celebrity side chick. That is what they have always said about you. And I actually like Shay. We're from the same place, but girl, I don't know about you anymore, because this is given very much pick me, pick me, pick me. Because you would sabotage your mother, put your mother on TV to be called a bitch. Girl, it would have been a whole fight. They would have been calling the real police on me. Like, you call my mother a B. I remember when I must have been about 20 or maybe even a little bit younger. And I'll never forget, me and my friend went out with my mother. And I'll never forget, I was young. I was super young then. You couldn't do nothing or say nothing to me. And I'll never forget, this lady, she called my mother a name. We wore her ass out. Like, when I tell you, I'm telling you, that lady got the beating of her life. So the fact of the matter that you can just sit there, honey, I just don't know what to say about Shay Johnson, honey. You need to go back to Anyala, honey, because she, in fact, never fixed your life. Because there will be no way that you would be in this same situation, so desperate for a man that you would let one call your mama a bitch. Girl, I would have been all on top of that man's head. All on top of his head. Do you hear me? This is just too much. So again, I talked about the Shay Johnson situation already, but because I missed the B word part, that my video would have went totally different. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, what do y'all think about Vonshae? Do y'all think she thirsty? What do y'all think about the relationship with Vonshae and Gunplay? With regards to Shay Johnson, what do y'all think about her? Like, seems like Shay Johnson just cannot win in love. So hopefully it works out for her. Hopefully not with this dude. What do y'all think about, that relationship? And then with regards to Amara and Safaree, like for me, I believe their relationship is fake because they said that it was fake. They said it. So I don't know what else to make of their relationship. But y'all let me know. I want to know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I will catch you all in the next video.